Welcome everyone to the fourth video in this series. In this video, we'll be taking a look at the texture baking process for all four of our items. Since baking is something that has been covered before on this channel, we won't dwell much on it in this video. Instead, we'll focus more on the texture baking that we'll do for the messenger bag that shows us how to have several colors for different parts of an object all on one material. So, let's quickly run through the texture baking process for the first set of items. Remember to save your baked textures using Alt+S once done baking. It's time for our bag. Let us create a new image for our bag first of all. So we're going to create a new image texture. We're going to call this one bag color. Alright, and then we're going to connect it to the base color of our principled BSDF for our bag one material. Then we're going to come and change this mode here to paint. We can change here to texture paint mode. Let's go to the fleshed out texture paint mode in layout view. So let's go to texture paint here. This way you change the color. So you can paint directly on the object like this. Let's go back to the shading so we can do it from the image's perspective. Let's go back to texture paint. Then you can paint on the UVs directly. So if you see this, already painting on the body of the bag. So this is the far easier mode. So you can also add a texture paint window. So you can come to general texture paint. And that's how you go about texture painting with this connected to base color. We now add Shift A as another image texture. This one is going to capture our bake. Then we create a new material, a new image rather, bag texture. Make sure this one is the only one selected. Enable the bag for rendering. Bake the bag. Okay, so if you notice that your bag mesh gives you this kind of output, this is due to the solidify modifier. So let's go and have a look at our UVs. You can see our UVs. The solidify parts, the geometry is overlapping with the main geometry of the bag. So that's why we have to now detach the solidified parts from the main bag so that it just copies the textures just onto the solidified parts instead of baking the two of them and then causing clashes. So let me explain what I'm trying to do here. Let's go to layout mode. So you can see all the solidified parts here. Let's just create seams around all the solidified parts. So what we're going to do is, for these ones, we're going to just select the outer parts, and then we can press Ctrl I, and then we're going to press P by selection. Then we're going to hide this and disable it from rendering. Now if we go back to shading, we can now bake this, and there's our bag texture. So if you make this visible now, you can now connect it back by first selecting this one, then shift selecting this one, then pressing Ctrl J, then press Ctrl J. There you go. With vertex select mode, press A to select everything, then M by distance. And this is what our entire outfit will look like in IM view. Export these items, so export each and every one. You can export with shift selecting everything. Then you're going to go to export. You can export to an FBX. Then we're going to selected objects, and then we can call this Dino outfit, and then we export it. So in the next part, we're going to import it into the rigging blend file so that we can transfer weights to it, and then eventually we import it into IM view. So thank you for watching this part. See you in the next one.